It's not going to do anything. It's just, I just want to do something because I know people are talking.
Folks around it again.
They're already started.
Yeah, bunch of Minogue stuff.
Now.
Intimidating people.
I'm sorry. So as you know, there's 40 districts. And one is still voting, so I'd like people to be quiet while they continue voting. I'd like to listen to some of the districts that have already voted and going to get over.
Go this way.
Thank you.
Swing for election. I don't vote.
Party council ruled the cameras work.
Yeah.
I was told that I could live stream from here.
We can get Selena.
Vincent told me I could live stream. As a member of the press, I was told that I could live stream, and now I'm being told by the Minogue campaign that I cannot. Hi, I'm Jess.
Jess, I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
Your hair is like,
Yes.
this is the shit.
Yes, I agree. I'm live. Just yes. Were you able to vote?
Yeah, legitimately, yes. But I hear there's a little problem.
Yes.
To vote.
Yes.
If you guys get to vote.
Is there anyone who can vote? Essex Middlesex. First, Essex Middlesex. If your vote is not, unless she's not turned in, it will not be counted.
National Committee woman Janet Fogarty is here on the ground. She is asking for.
Someone's got with it.
Nikki. So
You all finished voting, right?
I'm finished voting. Yes, thank you, Janet.
And Lisa Marie is with Michael Scarlata.
So we are right now, let me give you some context if you're just joining us. I'm here at the DCU Center in Worcester. We are here for the Massachusetts Republican Convention. It is turned into an absolute disaster. As a Republican, I did not want to report on this, but it is essentially gotten so far out of control. So we're down here on the floor. The basics and how this works is every single section of this center is broken up by districts. Each town is within a district. Each town has delegates. There are people here on this side, part of the Minogue campaign, that are saying that their votes were not counted, and they are telling them that they should be able to vote. They stopped the voting. They said the voting was done, but they hadn't completed the voting over here. So they were saying that they needed more time. This is all surrounding a late start after there was a delay even getting to the vote. The voting is supposed to take 15 minutes. We are now well past an hour. And that was after an hour delay when there was still no voting that took place. The people from the Minogue campaign are aggressive on the ground. They are yelling. I was told not to videotape, even though I was given permission from the press director that I could live stream from here. Starting back up again.
Second Bristol District, would like to report 21 votes for Ann Brinsley, 8 votes for Ann Manning Martin, and 14 for Oliver. Thank you very much.
Let's go, Minogue! Let's go, Minogue! Let's go, Minogue! Let's go, Minogue!
Results from the second Bristol Plymouth District. Brinsley, 24. Manning Martin, 8. And Sean Oliver, 38.
Results from Worcester Middlesex District. Brinsley, 66.
What was the issue
Manning
with the
Martin,
voting?
5. Oliver, 3.
Are you guys not willing to answer any questions?
Results from Worcester.
The Minogue campaign would not answer what the issue was with voting.
Manning Martin, 4. Oliver, 4.
Yikes.
The results from Bristol Normal. Brinsley, 46. Manning Martin, 12. Oliver, 4.
So this particular area here where I was just asking the members of the Minogue campaign why there was a holdup with the vote when I asked them what the issue was, they refused to talk to me and they turned around. They were also screaming and yelling, go Minogue or Team Minogue while the votes are being read, disrupting what was going on. They all have headsets and are talking to each other, but this particular area was the one that was screaming no vote.
Results from second Essex and Middlesex. Brinsley, 58. Manning Martin, 26. Oliver, 2.
Middlesex, 7. Brinsley, 2. Manning Martin, 8. Oliver, 2. So it's like. Results from second Suffolk, 2. Brinsley. Results from middle.
Joanne.
No, I looked at you.
I'm going to switch over to my laptop.
All right, 2.
Have you talked to him yet? He's not here.
Results from Hampton, Hampshire District. Brinsley, 20. Manning Martin, 17. And Oliver, 2. Results from Bristol, Plymouth, first Bristol, Plymouth District. Brinsley, 5. Manning Martin, 10. Oliver, 18.
Results from the Middlesex Worcester District, home of Ann Brinsley. Brinsley, 49.
I don't know exactly what this is supposed to look like, as this is the first one that I've attended, but I honestly cannot even believe what I'm watching. There is a psychotic mob mentality with the Minogue campaign. And I'm just going to preface this. There has been no issues with the Connealy or Shortleave campaign. They are acting appropriate. They are acting professional. They are definitely stressed, but they're following rules of decorum here. What I am seeing on the floor right now with the Minogue campaign is insane. And I am very conscientious that I have said I'm not a Minogue supporter. So I really hope that people can understand that this is an authentic observation on what's happening. The screaming from that side, the yelling, the disruption, the telling me I can't record or I can't have my camera, the not willingness to answer any questions, I've spoken with reps from both Shortleeve and the Connealy campaign, and whenever I try to ask the Minogue campaign a question about what's going on, they will not answer. It is added to an already stressful environment here, where it seems like the Mass GOP has massive opportunity here to fix how this convention went. I just spoke with State Committee woman Joanne Hodgson, the wife of Thomas Hodgson, and she said there will have to be a very serious post-mortem conversation that takes place after the convention is done. I should mention it is 4:30. It is currently the time we were expected to be leaving here. We are still reading the votes for the lieutenant governors that were voted on each district. After this is done, then we have to go through the nomination process for each one of the gubernatorial candidates. After that, each one of the gubernatorial candidates have to speak. And then after that, we have to go through the whole process again and vote again. I would venture to say there was conversations between Minogue campaign being accused of impacting votes, bullying people.
From the 5th Middlesex, Ann Brensley, 15. Ann Manning Martin, 26.
At one point, National Committee woman Janet Fogarty came over to the area where this disruption was taking place and was asking what was going on to try to temper everything. It was getting out of control. Jack Gately is here. What's going on?
Hello from the Berkshire, Hampton, Franklin, New Hampshire district. Brensley 7, Manning Martin 4, and Oliver 8.
I'm here with Jack.
Besties, how are you?
What are your thoughts?
There's some tension in the hall for sure. Backstage, there's probably some more tension. Right now, we're listening to results, and I can't do the math this quickly in my head, but it seems like Brensley's ahead in the count as we speak. Again, a little fuzzy on the math, but I'd say that Manning Martin seems to be hitting the 15% threshold.
Yep.
Questionable for Sean Oliver at this point.
I agree. I was over on the floor in that section, and the Minogue team was the ones that were yelling, no vote, no vote. And it was very chaotic over there. They were saying that they hadn't finished voting. They wanted to get their votes in. The Minogue team that was wearing the yellow jackets were screaming, let's go, everybody, say no vote, say no vote. And I was just telling everybody that National Committee woman Janet Fogarty actually came out to the floor and was trying to kind of have things calm down.
That's Minogue's home district.
It is Minogue's home district.
Who, of course, they'd be voting for Brensley.
Correct. Minogue's family was standing kind of adjacent to that area and watching. I was told I couldn't record by a member of the Minogue team, told me there was no permission to record. I said I was given permission from the team to record, and they told me not to. I still did anyway. Tensions were very high over there.
That's pretty much as we know it right now. From the update that we had, all of the Senate districts have now spoken out loud their ballots. I'm not sure if I heard the Essex and Middlesex ballot called because it happened while we were talking.
Yep.
But if it was my hunch, I think they did get called, and I think that was the one that had maybe like 115 votes for Brensley. And again, I'm just saying that, doing the math in my head because I'm actually talking and trying to listen at the same time. But if I had to guess, that Senate district was now included, even though I can confirm to you that they were voting after the chair closed the vote.
Correct. Originally, we were told that the vote was only going to be 15 minutes long. It went over 40. I think it was 42 or 43 minutes. And then they closed the vote to the chagrin of those in that same district who were yelling that they hadn't voted. I approached them. They were still taking votes with a clipboard. Organization seemed a little bit better for them. They had everybody lined up and ready to go. Unlike up in the rafters where I was, it was chaos. People couldn't get to the person with the clipboard. It was very tight, very disorganized.
Right. We're down, my district's down here on the floor, so we have a little bit more space. But if you're in the cheap seats, then obviously you're dealing with a tiered system of stadium seating.
Yep.
And that's a little bit trickier. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. tight fit here.
Press box always is. We were originally told in emails leading up to today that we would be here until 4:30 or around about 4:30.
And now it's 4:33.
It's 4:33. We have yet to do the nominations for each one of the candidates. We have not heard their speeches, nor have we had any voting or tallying of votes. So
I would hope that they have like a plan B to be able to thin out like maybe the seconding speeches, because each candidate has to be first nominated and then there's a second. And maybe they might cut those secondary speeches. That would, if I was advising, which
we were in charge, Jack.
in a perfect world where Jessica and I were co-chairs, I think that'd be the first thing I'd cut. Would be the secondary speeches.
Yeah, in case it wasn't clear, we do have essentially for each candidate 3 speeches. So it's a first speech, a second speech, and then the candidate themselves.
Plus a video.
Plus a video. I think that tensions are a little high right now, but I'm hoping things move a little bit quicker this time around. There has been, and I don't know if you're aware of this, some issues with people not being able to even vote. So delegates who paid their fees, who got their delegate status, who weren't on the list of the person collecting the votes, those people haven't really found any solution.
I've had several reports to that effect. It does seem to be a trend amongst those who had their ID written in Sharpie.
Yes.
For whatever reason, rather than have it pre-printed. So
I'm one of them.
And mine's pre-printed, so I didn't have a problem.
A little different.
And I think there seems to be, how do I want to say this? Theoretically, you should be able to vote privately. And
Correct.
I think this seems to be where the rubber meets the road here. So typically, when you vote at your local town hall or school gymnasium or whatever, there's not, very commonly there's somebody from one of the campaigns sitting there checking you in.
Right.
And they're like, okay, Sally showed up.
Right.
And Sally's one of our voters, and they'll cross Sally off the list. But they don't go to the polling place. They don't go into the voting.
They're not observing.
They don't go into the voting booth. They just know that Sally showed up. Who
Right.
Sally ultimately voted for, nobody knows, really.
Right.
But in this case here, it appears as if there was some tension about whether or not the ballot was actually potentially secret. Now, I wanted everyone to know who I voted for, so I actually turned around and yelled humorously, enthusiastically for my lieutenant governor candidate. But some people don't want to do that.
The votes are being tallied now. Stand by.
Literature for the convention, as per the Mass GOP website, does state, in order to be responsible for tallying your votes, tally clerks must affirm that they shall maintain the integrity and confidentiality of the voting process, keep individual votes private, and not disclose or distribute any record of individual votes under any circumstances. None of those things were adhered to during the voting process I observed. On the contrary, representatives from the Minogue campaign were standing and observing and taking note of all of the votes that were taking place in our district. There was nothing secret about it. One of the things, Jack, I was going to mention is a lot of people...
Well, can I just break in really quickly? Yeah. Because I'm not sure this is going to help, but I just got a message here that Team Minogue has opened the bars. And so now apparently there is an open bar. And Jessica, I'm not really sure if that's going to be a good thing.
They sent a text message saying that there's an open bar?
Yeah, let me quote it for you. The day may be long, but Team Minogue has opened the bars. Head to the bar at either end of the concourse, have a drink on us, and do not leave until Mike Minogue gives his acceptance speech, end quote. So open bar on Mike Minogue, apparently. I don't think I've been to any number of these from Democrats and Republicans. This is the first for me. Does that include the media here? Because it looks like there's any number of the media who could use a stiff drink at this point.
If Jack leaves in a minute, you'll know where he is.
I don't even drink, so I guess I get all the Diet Coke.
I'll tell you what, this is a really interesting take here. You've got the Minogue campaign opening the bar, free drinks. Trying to encourage people to stick around. We're obviously, like we said, we're going past the 4:30 time frame, and so people are getting antsy. They've been here all day. They thought they'd be done by now, and now Minogue's putting his money where his mouth is, and he's offering up some beverages to keep people loose, happy, and voting for him.
Yeah, like that's almost, dare I say, a little bit unseemly.
I agree. It's different than handing out swag. We've seen the short sleeve team walking around all day. They've got a lot of swag. They're handing out bags with merch and things. I think this feels a little bit different. I'm sure they check the rules and it's okay, but it feels a little weird. Earlier, we were talking about why this is so disjointed, speaking with individuals who worked the last convention and how things were much more organized and swiftly processed. The open bar is on either side.
Either side of the concourse.
Yes, it is. We got. I'll take a water, Vincent. Thanks, pal. One of the things that we were talking about is the difference between this convention and the last convention. You have 3 candidates running for office right now in the Mass GOP for governor, let alone lieutenant governor and all of the other races. The Mass GOP had a bunch of staffers. They have all basically left the Mass GOP to go work for the candidates. So you have John Milligan, who was the director for Mass GOP. He's working for Minogue. You had Logan, who is now working for Connealy. Everybody has essentially dispersed amongst the candidates. So the talent pool that was running things with the Mass GOP, the people who have experience at conventions and working, have all actually left the coop and gone to work for these other candidates, leaving a lesser experienced group of people to kind of run the convention. That's my take on it. And that could be the explanation. Having so many good quality candidates, all the talent has been eaten up, and they're all working for candidates as opposed to working for the Mass GOP.
I think that's true. Like, basically what happened is the candidacies sucked all the dollars, and the GOP, if for a little while there, like last year, was really sucking wind for dollars.
It was.
And credit to Mr. Deaton for stepping up and fixing that.
And Mr. Connealy, by the way.
So credit to both of them for fixing that. And, you know, I used to work for somebody who was on this list, and he every year went and helped run the Democratic National Committee convention.
Yep.
And there was a group of these people who had done it for 20, 30, 40 years, like literally. And if you missed, the rule was, Paul would tell me, if you missed 1 year, you weren't back. You were out. Back. It was like fight. You're in or you're off the island.
Right.
And so he would do that year after year after year. And that's actually how I ended up getting my first job at the State House, because he went to New York City to help run the convention for the Democrats in 1992.
Yep.
And I got my first job at the State House. Shh, but I was a Democrat.
He was a Democrat.
So, but when you lose that institutional memory, it's hard. It hurts.
You know, I think when we first lost Milligan, I think people were worrying about how things were going to be organized. Listen, we've come a long way since the Jim Lyons administration over the Mass GOP. We're no longer in the red. We've seen some success with elections. And so I hate to be so critical of it. However, first-time convention goer here, and this is not what I expected. I expected far more organization. I expected some... I actually don't know what I expected.
So you've never been to a convention before?
My first convention.
Of any type? Really?
First one.
Okay, so just for context, this is my third GOP convention.
Okay.
I've been to 2010 when I sat in Blogger Row, was what they called it back then. And then in 98, I was a guest because my wife was a delegate. So I sat up in the nosebleeds and had a sandwich and just joked around, you know, because I had nothing at stake. I was in grad school back at the time. And then I've been at several Democrat Party conventions, including the legendary 1990 convention.
What happened?
1990 was in Springfield at the Civic Center. Okay. And the legendary Republican National Committee Chairman Ron Kaufman coordinated with the Springfield Police Union to go on strike that morning of the convention on the Saturday. So he had a police picket line surrounding the entire convention. And of course, who goes to Democrat conventions? Teachers Association, union members. They could not get into the building. They would not go into the building. And all behind it was Ron Kaufman pulling the strings. Completely legendary. So this is the second This is still second place in terms of the effed up scale.
Right.
Can I say that on your channel?
You can say, yeah, you can say more than that.
Okay, so we have not yet approached 1990 Democratic Party levels of fucked up, but we're heading in that direction.
It seems everybody's calmed down a little bit. It's definitely, but the voting hasn't started. I do worry that once we start voting for our gubernatorial candidates, in particular, the Minogue campaign is going to start ramping things up again. I said before you sat down, I have never seen anything like that. I approached the Minogue campaign and asked them, hey, what's going on with the votes? As I was live to just kind of, get some information. They turned their backs. They put their arms around each other like this and turned around so that I would not be able to speak with them. They were not interested in sharing what was going on. And it was also a member of the Minogue campaign that told me I couldn't record or I couldn't have a camera over there. They wanted the press out.
And you're obviously a Connealy endorser.
When I sat down, I said, I wish I hadn't said that so people could understand how authentic I'm being with this. But, it was a very real situation over there.
To be fair, for your audience, because they may or may not know, I did endorse in the lieutenant governor race. I did not endorse in the governor's race. So I did endorse Ann Manning Martin, who's I'm sure all three of these lieutenant governor candidates, all three of them put a lot of effort into this. And I'm sure they're sweating bullets at the moment.
Yeah, so right now what we're waiting on is that voter tally. They're going to come back and let us know who the official Mass GOP nominee is. More importantly, did they meet the threshold of the 15% so they'll get on the ballot either way? Many candidates are saying, listen, we'll get on the ballot and then we've got work to do. I think I made the prediction earlier. It will be Mike Minogue walking away with at least 60% of the vote here today.
My number was 61.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And so I did an actual number.
Okay.
In my head, calculating the votes as they were announced, it sounded like Mr. Oliver was struggling to hit the 15% threshold. Yep. I'm not sure what Miss Martin AMM's number will be, but it struck me that she was going to hit 15. But I'm not sure.
We'll know.
Yeah, there'll be a number.
That can be really disheartening for a campaign working this whole time and not making that at least the opportunity to get to the ballot in September. There's a lot of work, a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of talent that goes into this. In the event that someone doesn't make it.
Hard feelings.
Yep. But I'd also like to think that the campaigns would absorb their teams and the people surrounding these lieutenant governor candidates if they don't make it, and then go back and help support. But
right,
nobody wants to not have a ticket, right?
For the staffers, there could be some really talented. If someone doesn't make it, there could be really talented staffers available, and they could be sucked up by the running mates campaign, or they could spin off to a congressional campaign or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of options.
Going on.
Yeah.
Do you think there is, and someone asked me this question before, is there an opportunity that someone gets 15%, 16%, and then drops out of this race and doesn't go forward to September?
I don't see that happening. What I'm really fearful now, I hope there's not a situation, because I don't think it would be good for the party if there's someone that ends up with 14 or 13 or 12%, doesn't make the ballot, and then there's this whole controversy that continues on with lawyers.
Well,
oh boy.
I think if you have any one of these gubernatorial candidates not make the 15%, they will activate some sort of legal challenge.
Or even for this lieutenant governor thing.
Correct. I actually heard the buzz already on the floor from one of the teams that would be taking place if they expect it to happen. So Mass GOP I spoke with State Committee woman Joanne Hodgson, and she said there has to be a serious post-mortem. We're getting some results right now.
Thank you guys so much for coming out today. It is incredible. This is my first convention, and it's overwhelming in a great way, but in a really difficult way as well. And I just want to encourage you, you came out, paid your fee, you went to a caucus, you got elected, You've done all of the work, and here we are sitting in this arena. There's a lot of people who are struggling. There's a lot of people, especially in my district, who are celebrating. They're having a great time, like right there, right now. I want you all to remember that in moments like this, where we're getting through the process, and it's a hard process, that we're celebrating Massachusetts' 250th.
Okay, so this is not going to be results. This is just killing for time
There are
right
many,
now.
many
We're hearing boos from the
men
audience.
and some women
People
who
are not happy.
bled on the fields of Lexington and Concord, so that we could be here today to sit in an arena and feel pissed off. This is so little of a sacrifice, and I just want to thank you for doing it, and I want to encourage you to please get a pretzel, get a hot dog, get a beer.
You're now being encouraged to go eat, chill out, and relax.
Listen to a podcast, but please don't go anywhere.
Jessica, can we get back to the prom dress story? Because I don't know anything about buying a prom dress, but listening to Jessica's stream yesterday, I learned a lot about it. You have to go to the horse store.
You got to go to the horse store. Yeah, we talked about going to the high-end stores and how it wasn't a great experience for some kids. So go to the horse stores. They're cheaper. They don't bother you. And it's a better experience.
No, I mean, the employees there, they're on their phones to their friends, right?
Correct.
Please stay with us, and thank you so much.
But
for
I'm
coming
sure your
along.
daughter picks a classy dress.
She did.
Okay.
She did.
Just
She
like
did.
you.
Thanks.
And I love your polka dots today.
I got a lot of compliments on the polka dots.
I went with this for whatever reason. This is now my trademark shirt.
Yes.
I don't know why.
It is. Somebody said, do you know where the guy with...
YMCA, so I said you can sit in your seats and relax, but maybe we can't. I don't wanna
Somebody
shop dance.
said, where's the guy with the plaid
Crazy
shirt?
right
And I
now.
said, oh, he's down there. You'll find him.
Yeah, so I actually had to wear this shirt to become part of my
It's-
expectation.
I would not want to be the woman who's on stage right now trying to get everybody hyped when everybody is booing and angry behind us. We thought she was coming with results. We still don't have results. We've got Trump on the screen. We've got some people standing up and dancing. Somebody text my husband and let him know Minogue is offering free beer.
I saw your phone light up and it said husband.
Oh, he's calling me.
No, that was a few
Oh,
minutes
before?
ago. Yeah. Now we're treated to the.
Come on, let's go, let's go.
I'm all set. Are you going to change your vote for Minogue because he's offering a free bar? I don't know what's happening. I'm sorry. Oh no, Alex is on stage. Oh no. Go, Alex! Oh my God. Behind the scenes, I'm live. Behind the scenes, Jack, myself, and Jack, I'm talking to the audience. Hold on. Mike Urban suggested that me and he and Jack all get up and start talking to fill in. We may be called upon at this point. This is not good. Did you hear that Mike Minogue opened the bar for people? Mike Minogue opened the bar for people on him. Go get a drink on him. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Grab me a soda. Jack,
I just got one. Is Mike Minogue buying me a Diet Coke?
Yeah.
Well, if Mike Minogue's buying me a Diet Coke,
Mike Minogue's buying Diet Coke. Can you grab your thank you? Can you imagine? It's a dance party down here. I gotta give the people who are jumping in credit. As a delegate, I'm not sure what's going on.
3 T-shirts. It says cocaine in Germany with whatever his name was, and then another shirt says ketamine in Poland with Ebola, and then the other one was Adderall in Texas with Boyd.
I met all the makings of a funny show. Very beginning. That was good. Yeah. Real good that. That's
Get them here, people.
Oh,
As a red blooded all American man,
I did. I slutted it up.
Maybe that's
That's it.
maybe that's no, but it's a good show and you did it.
Thanks. It's uptown funk, gonna give it to you. It's Friday night, we're in the spot. I don't want to get copyrighted, so I'll continue to jump in here every once in a while, so we don't get shut down. I continue to be deeply concerned from a delegate perspective. What is taking so long? I'm not sure if I got cut off before, if I lost track, but speaking with vote counters from the last convention, very different scenario. Fast, easy results, fast, done, and we moved on, and they were out of here by 4:15. I heard. Very, very different. It is 5 o'clock, and we still don't have our lieutenant governor votes in yet. I'm gonna mute us for a second, so we don't go to copyright issues. Give us a minute.
Oh my goodness. What an event. What a day.
Introduce yourself just in case.
I'm Noah Hatton. I am Noah Hatton. I'm on the K-Zone Morning Show. And our friend here calls in every now and then.
Once in a while.
Crazy. This
Yeah.
is crazy.
Yes.
I won't go.
You want to come in next?
So here's what's gonna happen. This is so the quote. This is the quote.
Okay.
First of all, Monday morning is gonna be hilarious.
Correct.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. Here's the quote. People are gonna say, how can the Republican Party expect to lead a state if they can't even lead their own party? That's what people are going to say.
I didn't even want to report on this
That's what people are going to say.
because I was worried about the optics of that.
Well, you have to.
Yeah,
You
and
must.
it got to the point where I needed to.
You must. This is wild. I don't even know. By the way, first time ever doing anything like this.
Really?
So for me, this is like a lot of fun. I like this. This is great.
I do actually love it. I'm not complaining. I wish I was in jeans
I love
and
the
sneakers
drama.
at this point.
I love the drama. It's
I live for the
fantastic. It's
drama.
tremendous. Okay.
I am a little stressed. I feel an undercurrent of like maybe things not going well for the candidate.
Did someone
you
just
know?
say I'm Charles? I'm not Charles. I'm Noah Hatton. Do I look like a Charles?
No.
No.
When can people hear you on the radio?
6:45 in the morning on 105.3 FM AM 1280 WPKZ. Or you can stream it live anywhere in the world at WPKZstream.com. That's us.
Hey, Vincent.
That's us.
Can I put Phil on for a second?
Yeah, of course.
Uh-oh. Wait, we've got results. Hold on.
Rensley, 1,156.09%. Manning Martin, 536 at 27.33%, and Oliver, 325 at 16.57%.
He made it. Oliver just squeaked in with 16%. I don't know the first number.
I was a little fuzzy on the first number, but
So Ann Rensley has just taken the stage. We didn't get the first one.
there was a raw number given of 1,156.
Let me see if I can hear it. If anybody who's watching heard the number, play it back and let me know what it was.
We're just starting. Let's go.
What happened? What happened?
We've been a little bit messy over here.
I'll mute
text
it.
you back.
All right, we've just got a couple of things going on right now. Jack has gone. Yes, I'm live. Jack has gone over to go investigate something. We'll get some info on that very shortly. Things are a little testy right this moment. Let me read some of these. People behind me are yelling for speeches. They are unhappy. They are calling for the speeches to start. Like we said, we've got quite a few to go. Let me just check and see what we've got going on here.
I told him I needed to be able to run in and out. You need to take a screenshot of the numbers so you can hear the numbers.
I would love them. I did not hear them.
Yeah.
hold on. I appreciate that, Vincent. Thank you. Let me tell you what those numbers are now that we got the official total.
You need to take a screenshot of the numbers. Yep.
So Brensley received 56.09% of the vote. Ann Manning Martin received 27.33% of the vote. And Sean Oliver received 16.57% of the vote. So all three lieutenant governor candidates will be on the ballot in September. If you could do me a favor, please, and share the stream on whatever platform you're watching it, so that others will be able to see what's going on. Got it. I'm live streaming and I want to know if you want to speak to everybody about what's happening. I heard you guys calling for speeches. Anybody interested in talking?
This lady here. Who are you live streaming to?
I live stream on my own platform. My name's Jess Machado. Yeah. You look familiar to me.
Yes. I follow you. You're fabulous.
Thank you.
And congratulations because you've won awards.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Karen Reed trial. Thank you. How are you? Thank you. What's your first name again? Grace. Nice to meet you again. How are you guys feeling?
Tired, frustrated because we've been here all day and things are moving very slowly. This is my first convention. Loving it.
Yep.
But too much dead time.
Expectations were we would be out by 30.
Yeah.
We haven't started speeches for our gubernatorial candidates. We haven't started voting. You're going to stay till the end, no matter what?
Yes.
Is that an easy decision for you?
No, it's not, because it's wasted time.
It's truly unacceptable the way this convention is run. We've been here since 8:30.
Yep.
We've had people in the delegation here that have left because they have other family matters to go, they couldn't stay.
Right.
There's only 2,300 delegates here.
Right.
And the way that this is run is the worst event they've ever been to ever. And someone has to answer to it. This is not how the Republican business-minded people run anything. This is horrible.
I was reluctant to reporting on this because it's not a great look for our party. We're asking for people, even non-Republicans, to vote for one of these men to lead our state. I've noticed that many of the campaigns are kind of distancing themselves from what's going on behind the scenes. They all seem frustrated. Mass GOP, unfortunately, is going to have a lot to answer to. What are your thoughts about what's happening?
My comments is the organizers don't seem to respect the time resources of the participants. And we saw that from the very beginning when we went to check in and the lines were out and around the corner and it was totally backed up. And even when you got your credentials, you were in the middle of a crowd and you needed somebody to block for you just to get into the lobby area. At a time like now, they could be trying to certify the lieutenant governor election, but there's no reason why we couldn't be hearing speeches from the gubernatorial candidates during this time. So
Great point.
I think that they're not really respecting us.
This is 2026. There is more efficiency and there should be empathy with the people sitting in the seats. There absolutely is a better way. What they need to do is bring in a consultant who runs an event like this and it absolutely should be run like
A machine.
Party
I was
event.
I was trying to figure out why we were at this point, and I noticed that many of the people who used to work at the back office for the Mass GOP, they got scooped up by some of these gubernatorial candidates. Now they work for these guys, Minogue and for Connealy. So some of the long-standing players like John Milligan, who ran things behind the scenes, he works for Minogue now. So we've got a younger, inexperienced group of people running things behind the scenes. Certainly not making excuses for them, but that may be the case.
I don't believe you can blame John Milligan. He was absolutely.
Oh, he was, but he's not there anymore. That's my point. He's gone.
And the other why is he gone? That's something that you could report on. And I think what we need is leadership that is not tiered in a triangle with one person at the top. That person needs to surround themselves with people who are capable, because we all have strengths and weaknesses. Let's acknowledge
So after what
that.
we've just been through, I want to just.
Thank you all very much.
I'm going to say something. This convention is going to
You're welcome.
conducted with respect and dignity for everyone. And if we hear disruptions, then the Sergeant at Arms is going to be asked to take action, and there will be no second chances. Let's get through this convention, and let's get through it with respect.
So at this point,
With regard to the tally process,
we're hearing Bruce Tarr is now coming up and saying with disruptions, they will tap into the Sergeant at Arms and have to remove people.
In the last round about those tally sheets not being accurate. They're being
Oh boy.
amended right now and refreshed. And we're now
Tally sheets are being amended and
of
refreshed.
nominations for governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And to get that started,
I think I've got enough juice, so I'm going to go back over to my seat.
the delegate from Abington, for the purpose of placing the name of Mike Minogue from South Hamilton in nomination for this convention's endorsement for the office.
At this point, I don't feel. No, thank you. I'm going to move back to my seat, Jack, and give you yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, State Representative Allison Sullivan, Almeida.
We're going to move seats and go back. Give me 1 sec.
So my remarks say good afternoon, but I think it's time to say good evening. And thank you all for still being here, because this is so important to all of us for the future of our Commonwealth. Again, my name is Allison Sullivan Almeida, and I'm a proud conservative
Thank you for coming on. I
Republican
appreciate that.
representing the 7 Plymouth
You know,
districts
Jack,
in the House of
you
Representatives.
did a really great job. We did a really great job together doing that.
Because my town of Abington,
We were like Regis and Kelly for a minute.
When I'm not serving my constituents, I've got my hands full with my 2 beautiful babies. My 2.5-year-old daughter, my 9-month-old son. Watching them grow reminds me every single day why we are here. To start building a stronger Commonwealth for our future generations. Now let's be clear. For the last 3 years, we've watched a horror movie unfold in our Commonwealth. Between total lack of transparency and reckless spending, this administration has consistently prioritized criminal, illegal aliens over our veterans, our seniors, and our schools. It is a disaster, and it is simply wrong. But I do remain optimistic, because there is one person ready to change all of this on day one. And that person
I have the
is Mike
numbers.
Minogue.
We all made it.
Mike is a man of faith and military
Not at all. I
service.
shut my camera off.
He and his wife Renee
Aaron,
have
nice to-
raised 5
Wait,
children
will you say hi?
with a
Can I say
focus
hi?
of
My-
hard
my sister's
work
watching.
and personal responsibility.
Karen McCormick.
Now I know Mike's character firsthand because of a life-saving miracle in 2023. My mother suffered a car cardiac arrest. Her only hope of survival was a device called the Impella. Yes, a device called the Impella. A heart pump pioneered by a
Refresh our
company like
lipstick
Glenn,
while we're
the
waiting.
CEO for nearly 2 decades. But
This
let's
is
be
Allison
clear,
Sullivan Almeida.
Mike didn't just run a
She
business.
is
He
announcing
spent
Mike
19
Minogue.
years saving lives by saving hearts. Because one of those hearts is my mother. He brings the same mission-driven leadership to this race. Now let's be clear. We need a governor who knows how to innovate, how to lead, and how to put the citizens of Massachusetts first. It is now my distinct honor to nominate a man of true character and courage. Delegates, please join me as I nominate Mike Minogue for governor. God bless.
There you go. Mike Minogue has been nominated for governor by Allison Sullivan Almeida. There's Mike Urban.
Under the rules, I must ask for a second. And so the chair now recognizes Renee Minogue, the
They're not
delegate from
mine.
South Hamilton, for the purpose
you got
of
French
seconding
fries?
Those aren't
the
mine.
nomination.
But I want them.
I want French fries. I'm so hungry.
Oh, God. It's the royal family.
Oh boy. Mike Minogue's wife is nominating.
On a crystal clear
Oh, boy.
summer day in 2019, our lives changed in an instant. Our 12-year-old son was riding an ATV
Not sure you can
when
see
it
it.
crashed into a tree.
Everything about this
I
campaign
found him
is
unconscious on the forest floor. I called 911 and we were immediately airlifted to Boston, where he stayed for weeks. His injuries were extensive, and we did not know if he would survive. On that day, Mike was in Germany for work. He caught the first flight home and came directly to the ICU. When he walked through that door, I felt like I could breathe again. Mike came and he served not just our son, but our entire family. Mike embodies servant leadership. Within hours, he had learned the names of our entire care team, including the sweet woman who mopped the floor. He asked thoughtful questions, helped with wound care, prayed, and never left our son's side. He slept on a tiny hospital couch every night. But what mattered most in that hospital room was not his military background, it was his kindness and his commitment as a father and his presence. Today, I am grateful to say our son has fully recovered. He will even be playing college lacrosse. The way Mike led our family through the hardest moment is the way he will serve this state every single day. He really will be a new kind of governor, It is with love and admiration that I second the nomination for the next governor of Massachusetts, my husband and favorite person, Mike Minogue.
The chair declares that the name of Mike Minogue is now officially before this convention, and the chair asks Mike Minogue to come to the podium for his remarks. Mike Minogue.
A choice about who can lead with strength. A choice about who can fight and win.
Delegates, this decision matters. This convention matters. This decision will really shape our Commonwealth and our party.
I was waiting for someone to enter the race.
You know, what I was going to say is, so we're kicking off the convention speech of Mike Minogue with his wife, who is telling the story of tragedy. The tragedy of their son getting hurt in an ATV accident. The letter that I received in the mail from the Minogue campaign just on Friday, addressing me as a delegate, also had a theme of tragedy. There was a woman whose husband died, and she worked for Mike Minogue's company, and he started a scholarship foundation for her boys. There is an overreaching theme here of terrible things happening, and that Mike Minogue is the savior that swoops in and comes and fixes them. Sounds like husband duties to me with this speech, and it sounds like something rich people do with the other thing. I can't get over the fact that I just heard his wife say once he got to the hospital, he got to know the names of everybody in the care team, even the nice lady that mopped the floor. I'll let everybody take that however they will.
And really grow the party across the Commonwealth.
Minogue is the real deal. He's the kind of person that we need to move Massachusetts forward, become more prosperous and safe.
Mike Minogue has the best opportunity to win this seat, and we all need to get behind him.
I've never known Mike as a politician, because he isn't. I know him as a husband, as a father, as a man of deep faith. I've watched him grow and protect our family with love, humility, and conviction. I've watched him pray before big decisions, keep his word, even when it was hard, and always put service to others ahead of self. That's who he is when no one's watching, and that's who he'll be for Massachusetts. Delegates, if you want a governor who will lead with courage, character, and conviction, if you want a man who will fight for our values, our families, and our future, then stand with my husband. Stand with Mike Minogue.
Crowd's going crazy. Here he comes. Lots of people standing and excited for Mike Minogue here.
Thank you for staying. The greatest day of my life was when I convinced Renee to marry me. Thank you, Renee. I love you. She'll be a terrific First Lady. So let me begin by asking 3 questions. And yell it out, yes or no. Are you ready for the audit?
Odd way to start.
Are you ready to get criminal, illegal immigrants off our streets? There's an easy one. Are you ready to retire or heal it? The sound of patriots ready to start winning again. So I am Mike Minogue. I'm running for governor to make Massachusetts the best place to live, work, and raise a family. And I'm here today to humbly ask for your vote. When I was growing up, my summer job was digging pools. And when the machine wouldn't reach into the pool, the boss would say, someone's got to go in and dig. So I jumped in.
Heard
When I
this
was in the
story
Army,
before.
somebody had to deploy and fight from the front lines. So I went. When Abumed was struggling and someone had to help turn the company around, I did. So now somebody needs to fix the Commonwealth, and I will. My whole life, I've taken on the tough jobs because I believe that when you follow God's path and you do hard things, you serve something bigger than yourself. Amen.
Oh, there it is.
I have been blessed to live a life of purpose. I've been a soldier. I'm a husband to Renee. I'm a father
He's
of
walking
5.
away from the podium and the
I was
camera
the
had to
CEO of
catch up and
Abumed.
follow him. I don't think they thought he was going to leave.
And I am the chairman of the Minogue Foundation that gives back to veterans and causes for kids, education, and healthcare. We were not given anything in life. We had to earn it. But the greatest blessing was my parents who showed me faith and hard work.
After Mike Minogue, we're going to have Brian Shortleeve and then Mike Connealy will close it out.
My mom and dad were the grandkids of immigrants from Ireland and instilled in me faith.
Many people have said
patriotism.
that Mike
My dad
Minogue
went to
doesn't
college
debate
on a
the
ROTC
other Republican
scholarship,
candidates because
served
he
in the
doesn't
Air
speak
Force,
well.
and later became a business
This
guy.
is a little
My mom
disjointed.
was the
He seems
daughter of
nervous.
a NYPD
His
detective.
mouth looks dry. He keeps
She
kind of
was
doing
smart,
weird stuff with his mouth.
funny,
He doesn't
and
seem
tough.
really relaxed.
She was a homemaker, and I was the youngest of 4. So we were blessed with their example, and that's what inspired me to go to West Point, where I graduated with a degree in engineering management, and I swore an oath to the Constitution. And then shortly after, I completed airborne school and ranger school. Ranger school is great training for this job. Makes this job kind of easy because I get to eat. And then after Ranger school, I was quickly deployed to war. At 23 years old, I had real purpose. I served in combat in Desert Storm. I was the lead platoon leader and tip of the spear for the 24th Infantry Division's invasion into Iraq. Thank you. It was like getting a PhD in leadership. I learned that if I served the purpose and I put the people ahead of myself, I would always be successful. In fact, join me now in recognizing all the veterans in the audience. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you. Thank you so much. So after the Army, I transitioned my way out to work for GE Medical Systems and get my MBA on the weekend. After that, I was recruited to Abumed to be the CEO for 19 years. Headquarters in Danvers, Massachusetts. Where are you, Danvers? When I arrived at 37 years old, Abumed was a struggling company. It could go bankrupt if something didn't change. much like today in Massachusetts. We adapted and created thousands of jobs with the world's smallest heart pumps. And I'm so proud of that culture that put patients first and saved hundreds of thousands of lives. What an amazing company. And because that heart pump became the standard of care, Johnson & Johnson bought us 3 years ago. And this gave me time to pray and reflect on my next purpose. My faith grounds me in humility and a sincere desire to help others. Amen. And I believe all things are possible with God. Built our company and give back to our community. Now I know I'm called to serve again as a new kind of governor. My purpose is to help working people and families that struggle to pay their bills. Massachusetts is working for some, but not all. Overall, Massachusetts is dead last in job growth and second worst in debt per person, which means our governor is overspending and screwing up every industry. I like that, for screwing up. And what is frustrating is she still hasn't solved the illegal immigration crisis that has already cost taxpayers billions of dollars. So how do we get on the right path? We elect a leader with integrity and common sense and compassion. We elect a new kind of governor with a blueprint to accountability, affordability, opportunity, and keeps communities safe. I call AAOK. Accountability, 72% of the voters supported the audit, but the governor will not help enforce the will of the people. Massachusetts is growing more debt now than any other time in history. I will do the audit of the legislature and the entire budget. I will stop overspending, and I will provide transparency on the one-party system and get rid of the waste, fraud, and corruption.
That's not kidding.
I will cut taxes and spending by eliminating this waste and fraud. I will cut energy utility fees on day one, and I will invest in energy that is safe, clean, and lowers your monthly cost with natural gas pipelines and nuclear energy. And I will repeal or cancel 2 gifts from the political establishment. I'm going to cancel and repeal the net zero mandate and the MBTA community. Opportunity. I will grow jobs by retaining and recruiting entrepreneurs and businesses. I'm the only candidate and CEO that has actually built a company, sweated the details, so I will cut red tape. I know how it works. And I will give parents a choice to get their kids educated in better schools by opting into the new federal scholarship tax credit, something my wife and I helped make a federal law.
That's actually not as good as it sounds. When Mike Minogue called me and asked me for my support, we went back and forth on that. It's not as good as it sounds. I'll explain that maybe on Monday. problem here is every one of the candidates running for governor are going to do these same things. They're going to try to get rid of the MBT Communities Act. They're going to try to get the audit going. They're going to get rid of the sanctuary state status. Like, they're all going to do that. So outside of that, what else do we have here?
On safety, girls need fair and safe sports. And last, I will protect the Second Amendment.
Holding a hand over his heart, he said, I will protect the Second Amendment.
Now, we have been outworking our opponents in campaigning with integrity. Because you either have it or you don't. We're campaigning. We are built to win.
Campaigning
and
with
that is
integrity.
why the political establishment is fighting us.
Nobody's fighting them, though. Nobody's fighting them.
I'm the only political outsider running for governor. And that gives me the freedom and the ability to fight for you. I want to serve the people of Massachusetts to make it the best place to live, work,
So when I was running those polls on my X account,
your leadership, your faith, your courage, I appreciate
and they
it.
bought all the bots to vote for him, was that integrity?
Let me close. And as I close, look around. Look around your neighborhood. We know this is a tipping point election. This is a special time. Look around. This is our time to answer our call to come together to win and save the Commonwealth. So let me end with 3 final questions. And make it loud enough so the political establishment in this room and Maura Healey can hear us. Yell it out, yes or no. Are you ready to fight? Yeah! Are you ready to win? Yeah! Final question.
He's coughing and the crowd is chanting USA to give him a minute.
God bless you all. Thank you.
He can't talk anymore. He had a last question, but he couldn't get it in. Crowd's going crazy. There was a lady here with a baby. I'm not sure what song this is, but several of the members of the
How are you?
I'm so great. You hanging in there?
Dying.
It's all right. We're getting there.
This has been
I finally started talking about it. I wasn't going to, but the disaster.
Ben says they have a shit ton of stuff to talk about in his one.
Delegate from Billerica for the purpose of placing the name of Brian Shortleeve from Barnstable in nomination.
We are now moving on to the Brian Shortleeve nomination. Just to the start of this, Jen Cunningham, not Jen Cunningham. Let me hold that thought for a second. I don't want to say anything. Anybody talking to Jim Lyons is on my shit list. Shortleeve team had a bunch of people come out and they all started handing out signs, lots of signs.
My name is Mark Lombardo, state representative from the town of Billerica, and I am proud to stand before you as the most conservative member of the Massachusetts House of Representatives. I I have fought to lower taxes and cut
This is Mark
spending.
Lombardo.
I've opposed the radical climate policies that are driving up energy costs.
How are all my bunnies
I've
doing?
voted against billions of benefits for illegal immigrants. I filed legislation to ensure
How's everybody?
cooperation with ICE to keep our neighborhoods safe. And I've led the charge to finally
I am interested
finally
to
audit the
see
legislature and bring transparency to Beacon Hill.
what Brian Shortleeve brings to the stage right now.
So as a conservative,
I consider him
I
to
want a
be
trusted
the
conservative Republican governor.
quietest
And I
speaker
can tell you
of the three,
firsthand,
as
Massachusetts
loud.
is in desperate
Well,
need
I wouldn't say Minogue, because Mike Connealy is
And that's why
a
I'm
louder
honored today
speaker.
to nominate a man who is ready to lead.
I'm not sure
that
Brian
nation.
Shortleeve is going to
A
be as
Marine,
loud, but he does have a
businessman,
tendency to get people kind of
father,
riled up. He is also a
proven
veteran.
reformer, Brian Shortleeve. Brian isn't the candidate.
I do like Brian a lot. Brian was going to be my candidate.
Supporting local candidates for
The tipping of the
decades.
scales for me was
And unlike
the
many who
team
talk about reform,
around
Brian has actually
Connealy
delivered against
is the
all
team that was
odds.
around Baker, and they have
Brian
a proven track
Shortleeve
record of winning,
is
and the team
fearless,
around Brian Shortleeve
as
does
you
not
expect a Marine
have
to
a
be.
proven track record of winning.
He's shown throughout this campaign that he's willing to show up, debate, and earn every
That
vote
is
across
accurate.
the
Brian
Commonwealth.
Shortleeve has debated. Mike
Brian is
Connealy
not
has debated.
just
Mike
the trusted
Minogue
conservative
has,
choice
if you
there
haven't
is.
noticed, he started talking.
He is the
He's like
only
anti-establishment, and he said it here on the
candidate
stage.
in
He seems
November.
to have a chip on his shoulder about the Mass GOP overall and the establishment party here. He mentioned it. He's fighting the Mass GOP
That's why
establishment
so many conservative legislators have endorsed Brian's candidacy.
as a political outsider. He has felt he doesn't need to debate. He doesn't need to show up to
lower
events.
taxes,
He just wants to hold his
if we
own
want
events
to
and do his own
reinvigorate
thing.
our
And
economy,
that has
if we
piqued
want
the
lower
interest
energy
of
costs, if we want
Republicans.
safer neighborhoods,
But
if we want
I
transparency
just don't
in
know how
government,
that's going to
including our
translate.
audits, and if we want to win in November, then the choice is clear. I proudly ask you to join me in voting for Brian Shortleeve for governor, the conservative governor we've been waiting for. Thank you.
A little lackluster from Lombardo right there. It kind of peaked. But we were
Under
going
the
to
rules, I must ask for a second.
close out.
And the chair now recognizes State Representative Nick Boldiga, the delegate from Southwick, for the purpose of seconding the nomination.
Hello, delegates. My name is State Representative Nick Boldiga. I proudly represent the 3rd Hampton District, which is the city of Agawam, the town of Southwick, and 8 other great towns across western Massachusetts. And my friend and colleague Mark Lombardo that preceded me at the microphone knows that there's only one representative in the State House that's the most conservative and has the voting record to prove it, and it's me. And we joke about that often. But I rise today to second the nomination of a candidate who understands what is at stake for our Commonwealth, and just as importantly, a candidate who can deliver victory for us in November, and that's Brian Shortleeve. I spent my career in public service. I was a police officer, a local official, and now a state representative fighting for our conservative principles and for common sense on Beacon Hill. And I can tell you, those values are in short supply right now. Families are being squeezed, businesses are leaving, and too many people feel like Massachusetts is no longer working for them. But Brian Shortleeve gets it. He's not a career politician. He's a Marine Corps veteran, a successful businessman, and a proven reformer
We're trying.
who has taken on tough challenges and
Thank
delivered
you.
results. But just as important, Brian is a candidate who can win for us. I've won 9 contested races in this blue state. I know the differences between a winning and a losing campaign.
That's a great
Brian
point.
has the background,
Great
the
point.
experience, and the determination that it takes to win. Brian's not avoiding debates with the press. He's tackling the
I'm
challenge.
self-conscious about my
When you
hair.
know the issues, you can speak confidently about them, and you want to be on the front lines. Brian will never back away from holding Connealy accountable. What Brian has is the guts of a Marine to take this fight to Maura Healey to rescue Massachusetts this fall. And let's be honest, I know firsthand, money does not win campaigns.
Oh boy, shots fired. Shots fired.
The right candidate wins campaigns.
Money does
Brian
not win
Shortleeve is that
campaigns.
He's building momentum across the state. He's earning support from across Massachusetts, and he's proving
Interesting to have
don't just have a
the
message.
speakers before the candidate act as a proxy to take those kinds of shots. I doubt Shortleeve would ever get that dirty. I can't see Connealy getting that dirty, but tensions are high here today, and maybe they've seen what's on the line, so we'll see it. But Minogue himself took shots at the establishment. Nick Bodega came right out and said money doesn't win campaigns.
The chair now declares that the name of Brian Shortleeve is officially before this convention.
Do you want the sweet treat, the cookie for Georgia or the big guy? No.
I don't even know where he is.
I'm going to check on the coffee situation.
Massachusetts is the only right to shelter state in the country. And the word for Governor Maura Healey's office appeared in court today on drug charges. TikTok potato chips will no longer be made on TikTok.
Shortleeve's video is all about Maura Healey and everything bad that's happened. He's got her on the screen. This is a good video. Good video. Minogue was all about him, himself, his family. I've seen more of Maura Healey on this than anybody else. You can't hear it. Shortleeve has moved on from fighting these candidates. He's moving on to the real target, which is Maura Healey here. It's almost like he's above everybody here, fighting against each other. He's going straight for her. It's working. It's getting the crowd a little riled up.
Just really forges ahead. I think of the word momentum with Brian.
When he was 13, unbeknown to his mother and his father, he tried to enlist in the Marine.
Brian's parents are on the screen and his son. So a little bit of family, but that Maura Healey video was probably
10 minutes with him or 10 years with him. It felt like you've been
is probably
I'd say my dad's definitely very
some of the best stuff I've seen today, to be quite honest with you. So now we're watching videos of people supporting Brian. Sean Oliver's on. Oh, that was in Fall River, actually.
With government reform experience that the state so desperately.
Shortleeve videos are fantastic.
Embarrassing is at my baseball games. He'll yell, "Oh, Brian Michael!" As I barely hit over the infield.
He's someone that just really wants to fix the problem.
That's a great video.
And, come at it full force. But I would also say that he comes at it with energy and optimism.
With Brian, we know a conservative businessman who is focused on turning Massachusetts around. So I think a great leader.
You're welcome, Beth. If you could share it so others will see it, that'll be great. I don't want to hear anybody complaining when Maura Healey gets reelected if you're not watching or doing
I'm the most
this.
conservative member.
I will tell you, the Minogue people in hard hats.
And that's why I'm supporting a true conservative in this race.
What's going on? Hard hats and construction vests.
When Brian first told me he was going to run for governor, I was thrilled. I thought, finally, we have somebody with the experience, the know-how, and the drive to turn this state around.
Brian Shortleeve will be the conservative governor.
I hope we get to see this again somewhere, but it's Shauna O'Connell, and she's talking about, like, when Brian said he was going to run for office, I was thrilled. Finally, somebody that's ready to, like, pull up their short sleeves. The picture cuts just to Shauna, not even her head, from here down, and she's just pulling up her sleeve. I mean, she was arrested for beating up her husband. I don't know if anybody else found that to be as funny as I did, but maybe take that out of there, because that's all I thought of. Brian Shortleeve has taken the stage. His people are out. They're holding their signs.
First day, and it's been a long day. Fellow Republicans, for nearly 250 years, when America faced its toughest moments, we called in the Marines. Marines are the first.
So it's time starting off with him being a Marine. This is a common
We
theme.
plant the flag. We get the job done. No excuses. Today, Massachusetts is facing one of those moments. And for all of us in this room, and on behalf of millions of working people across this Commonwealth, it is time to say to Maura Healey, enough is enough. Your time is up.
Just got the chills. I'm just gonna choke.
Our flag. My name is Shortleeve. I'm a Marine. I'm an entrepreneur. I founded a great business here in Massachusetts. I'm a turnaround specialist. I'm a husband and I'm a father. That is my life's work. I am not a politician. Like many of you, though, I've worked in the trenches of the Republican Party for years. To support our candidates because I believe this party is our best hope to bring real and positive change to this state and this nation.
Brian has high energy. It's not being matched by the crowd, but he has high energy. We have heard about his military service 3 times since he started.
He taught me that the highest responsibility
Need a little
and
bit
the
more from him
greatest
here.
privilege is to serve a cause greater than yourself. And so I became a Marine. It was in the Marine Corps that I learned the values that have guided my life ever since. Honor, courage, commitment, discipline, teamwork. When I returned from the Marines and graduated business school, I started working with companies, helping them grow faster, control costs, or restructure when expenses got out of whack. Eventually, I founded my own firm to invest in smaller technology companies and help entrepreneurial founders build the next great generation of American success stories.
One of the things that is upsetting me is looking around. There are a lot of empty seats that were not empty before, unfortunately.
Of the American dream. They are the engines that drive growth and drive opportunity. And it's time we put a governor in the corner office who has lived and breathed small business and entrepreneurship all of his life.
He's trying.
But back in 2015, and many of you remember it, Massachusetts got buried under 100 inches of snow in 1 month. It was called Snowmageddon. It was a crisis, and there was no bigger crisis than the MBTA. The system was in total collapse and on the brink of bankruptcy. Our new governor didn't call a politician. He called in a Marine, a businessman, a turnaround specialist. He called me.
That's true.
He gave me a mission that day, and it was not to fix everything that was wrong with the team. My mission was to get the T's fiscal house in order, and I had 24 months to do it. I didn't go to the T to make friends. I went there to grab the T by the ankles, turn it upside down, and shake loose all the waste, abuse, and inefficiency that infected it. I took on the bureaucracy. I took on the government unions. We stripped out waste and abuse. We audited everything. One of the first audits we did of the T was of its multi-million-dollar cell phone. And guess what? A third of the phones the T were paying for hadn't been used, seen, or heard from in more than 2 years. Nobody was checking the phone bill. But the lesson is simple. If you don't look for fraud and waste, you won't find it. If you look for it, you will find it. And we found millions. And when we found fraudsters stealing from taxpayers, we put them in jail. Now let me ask you this. When was the last time anyone on Beacon Hill did anything
Looks cute in
like
this picture,
that?
right? Looks cute here.
Never. By the time I was done 2 years later, we balanced the T budget for the first time in decades, and it hasn't been done since. The Boston Herald said I turned a bloated, underperforming agency into one focused on writers, performance, and results. The Boston Globe, which does not often agree with the Herald, called our work the best thing that ever happened to the transit system. So with endorsements like those, good luck to Maura Healey or anyone else who tries to mislead voters about my record as a conservative reformer delivering for taxpayers.
Brian is tight right now. He's locked in. He is locked in far more than Minogue is.
Well, my friends, let's have some straight talk. First and foremost, we need a nominee who has been stress tested and vetted in public life. No surprises.
Oh boy.
If you can't have a debate among friends and coherently defend your business record against cross-examination,
Here we go.
It doesn't get any easier from here.
Wow.
Next,
Shortleeve going after Minogue.
Proven record as a government reformer delivering for
Having no experience, not debating.
That's different than being
Shots fired.
or someone who can only promise change. All three of us candidates are business guys. We've all built great companies. But I am the only candidate in this race who has delivered unapologetic conservative government reform. Finally, we need someone who can go toe-to-toe with Maura Healey and credibly make the case to voters about her failed policies.
The case to voters, not the case to Republicans, the case to voters.
I have battled the status quo. And now I am ready to prosecute the case against Maura Healey.
I will tell you, this is a better speech than Mike Minogue's speech. The Minogues are coming off disconnected, rich. Brian is coming off as
who sit at the kitchen table and debate which bill
a Massachusetts guy.
It's about the senior citizen who is forced out of their home because they can't afford the property tax.
Definitely comfortable
It's about
talking.
the small business person who shutters their company.
He's using those transition words like, look, guys, I love it when people have comfort. Also, the message is good so far. That being said, I just looked down and somebody said too churchy. It's touching on that. It's starting to sound a little gospel-y.
Be good people, and if you do, everything will work out. And I will not let that be a lie. But unfortunately, people, especially young people, are fleeing the state in search of opportunity. We are now dead last nationally, dead last in private sector job growth, 50th out of 50. Families and businesses are getting crushed by the cost of living. Governor Healey wonders why they're leaving and forms a competitiveness council to educate her. I don't need a council to tell me why people and businesses are leaving Massachusetts.
Lots of money. Lots of money does that.
And I am used to Maura Healey. King Cod potato chips didn't move to Carolina because of something President Trump did. He's president of North Carolina too.
Jim Lyons is like over here to my left, and he continues to get dangerously close, and I don't like the guy. I don't like him at all. He's creepy.
Red Sox Nation certainly knows it, which is why she was booed out of Fenway on opening day.
We have not voted yet for governor candidates. However, hear me out. Connealy's going to clean it up. There were some really great things here about Brian, but there's other things about Connealy that sealed the deal for me. Believe me, I heard this similar message from Brian Shortleeve when I met him.
State agency and program in state government to make Beacon Hill a lighthouse of transparency instead of a black hole of secrecy. We'll loosen the stranglehold of taxation by signing the income tax cut, which will pass.
I so very much wish that Shortleeve was the running mate for Mike Connealy. In a perfect world, that's what I wish.
Just to finance people who couldn't work but won't. I'll fire the parole board.
I will say, Brian just smiled. It's the first time he's smiled this whole time. And Minogue was doing this weird smile frequently.
To succeed in life, they will not be places for politics or social experimentation. They will not undermine the values taught by parents in the home. They will be places of learning and I'm going to fix the right to shelter law to provide for our citizens, families with children, pregnant mothers, and homeless vets. We've got our own people here to take care of. My running mate, Sean Oliver, knows all these things. He's a longtime corrections officer from New Bedford. He's also a first-generation American. His family came to this country in pursuit of a dream, and they did it the right way. They came here to live under our laws, to love our Constitution, and to pledge allegiance to our flag.
It's getting the crowd riled up.
Our flag is fraying. We need a new governor with the determination of a Marine.
Minogue talked about education and the opportunities that the federal government is offering for school choice in Massachusetts. It's too deep to get into right now, but that's a little tricky.
I will be that governor. I'm asking for your vote. God bless Massachusetts. God bless America. Let us plant our flag together and fly it high with bold, bright colors. Thank you.
Brian Shortleeve gave a resounding message. His family has come out on stage. I thought he was invigorating. He's definitely a better speaker than Mike Minogue. I've already almost forgotten about Mike Minogue. I'm remembering Mike Minogue's wife's speech more than Mike Minogue's speech. Brian's on stage. His family's up there. He's got 3 boys. They're all up there. They're all dressed like him with blue jackets on and ties. They look great. His wife, his parents, his wife, Sean Oliver, and his wife are up there. We're finishing up, and it looks as if next we're getting the Connealy campaign to close it out. I'm so nervous for him. Mike Minogue is right here in front of me.
The chair now recognizes the delegate from Grandview, Tamaranta Pinion Jacob, for the purpose of placing the name of Mike Connealy from Lexington in nomination for this convention.
I am live streaming for you, but I am now as a delegate, so let me do my business. Maybe.
It's on the way.
I'm doing us dirty there, Bruce. Just so you know, Mike Minogue has texted us twice since we've been here. I'm very, very disappointed in the lapse there that we had to.
On June 30th last year, 3 teenagers were driving a stolen Acura, looking for rivals to shoot and kill. They exited the vehicle, spray bullets down the street,
What is
and our
happening?
innocent son was struck and murdered.
Oh no.
This left a hole in my heart that will never close. But the violence plaguing our nation's capital has drastically declined, thanks to the swift action taken by our President Donald Trump. His administration, Mike Connealy shares my desire to uphold justice
I'm not sure how I could.
Eric was a beautiful soul.
This is very sad.
Who left a remarkable impression on our country. He received a full scholarship from the Department of American Studies at George Mason University in January 2025. He then became an intern for Congressman Ron Estes from Kansas, a job he truly loved. If Eric was still with us, he would be graduating in May from the Eisenberg School at UMass with his degree in finance, and then off to DC for another fully paid internship in finance. Mike Connealy and the Mass GOP were there for me after Eric's death, checking in and corresponding with the Trump administration to find his killers and bring them to justice. I support Mike's candidacy because he promised to do everything in his power as governor to ensure that no young person in Massachusetts loses their life to such senseless violence like my son, by supporting families who are suffering through this horrible process of the judicial system.
This is the mother of the student Eric Tarkanian jacking. He was from UMass and he was shot out front of, everybody is standing for her. So, interesting choice from the Connealy team. Little somber.
Under the rules, I now ask for a second.
Sure exactly how I feel about that.
The Honorable Bob Hedlund, delegate from Weymouth, for the purpose of seconding the nomination.
Well, I think one of the reasons for that is we were connecting her and Trump and Connealy and Trump and her. I think if I could guess, that was the connection there. She loves Trump.
I know that
she loves Connealy. You need to make that connection, I guess. There's a lot of Trumpers here.
And Connealy, oh my goodness, 40 years I've been in the trenches. I think my first effort on behalf of Republican principles was gathering signatures.
Is this Bob Hedlund? Listen in, here's the second.
I got involved in a presidential primary in Massachusetts. My candidate that year in 1980 got 2% of a primary vote in the Republican primary. So I know what it's like to lose.
There are a lot of Trumpers here.
Later, I had the opportunity of serving as the chairman of the Young Republicans here in Massachusetts. And I know that many of you Young Republicans when this event started. In 1990, as a small business person, I got fed up with the so-called
Jeff texted me earlier and said, "What the fuck is happening, Mauser? This place is for the crazies."
Republicans in the primary. I was the least funded. I was the
Oh,
youngest.
Minogue texted me 4 minutes ago and said, "Wasn't that Minogue speech amazing? Head to the concourse for a free beer now. Then make sure you're in your seat to vote. Don't leave until Mike Minogue is back on the stage."
I was outspent 5-1 on that primary. They were under beat a 26-year incumbent from the House of Representatives to go on to the Senate.
Jim Lyons could be anywhere in this whole arena, and he is about 15 feet away to me to my left.
Then the people and voters who come off of Massachusetts were fed up with one-party rule. They were fed up with being ignored. And today, voters want their tax dollars invested in their community, in their schools, public safety, for roads, for bridges, infrastructure. Not for housing migrants, hotels. Not for mismanaged agencies. They want lower energy bills. We've heard a lot about that, the cost of living.
I mean, is it still light outside?
That is something we Republicans are ready to tackle. And we want to see a Republican governor sent to Beacon Hill to solve these problems. This year, we have the chance to send a Republican back to the corner office, I believe. And I've gotten to know Mike Connealy over the last number of years. I believe he'll make a fantastic governor. Mike grew a business. He grew our economy. He's reformed education. What he did in Lawrence was incredible. He helped create a much better future for the children in Lawrence. I think that balance of this private sector, governmental, and charitable works makes him a well-rounded candidate for the corner office here in Massachusetts.
This
I
guy
think he'll
is
be a great governor.
business.
Republican, we can all be proud of, and I am very proud
He's
to accept
businessy.
the nomination. Mike Connealy, Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Thanks for coming.
The chair now declares that the name of Mike Connealy is officially before this convention.
Video. Illegal migrants, right on the screen. Maura Healey's face. There we go. So this is definitely, this actually just gave me chills. I don't know why. Oh, Diane Rehoboth on the screen. I covered that story. Maura Healey's face is on the screen. Michelle Wu, worst governor in America.
That's why conservative Mike Connealy is running for governor. Connealy, a Massachusetts native, lifelong Republican, business leader, job creator. Mike Connealy will end sanctuary policies, stop boys and girls sports, cut waste, audit state spending, and restore fiscal sanity to Beacon Hill. Republicans, let's unite around a conservative Connealy, a leader who will end EV's wokeness and weakness on day
It's good.
Republican Mike Connealy.
It's strong.
Let's get to it.
It's good. It's strong. He looks good. I like the sound of it.
Please welcome Mike Connealy.
Don't ever tell me what to do again. Don't you listen to my show?
Listen, hey, you know I love you.
That's the member.
Thank you, Tamara, for that generous introduction and for your endorsement. Your
Down in
grace
front.
And strength in the face of profound tragedy has moved so many of us. And I'm deeply grateful for your courage, your friendship, and your trust. And thank you, Mayor Bob Hilton, for your endorsement. I'm
So
honored to have
Minogue
the
staffers
support of
coming
such
over
a
here to
loyal
distract the
Republican,
press as soon as Mike gets on the stage.
and one-of-a-kind free spirit whose independence, humor, and unwavering convictions have left a lasting mark on all of us. And folks, how about that Ann Manny Martin? I am so honored to be running with Ann. She's a no-nonsense, proven grassroots fighter whose experience in law enforcement and protecting taxpayers makes our team even stronger. Thank you, Ann. Folks, 251 years ago, ordinary Americans stood up to a government that overtaxed them and threatened their liberties. They fought back right here in Massachusetts, and they built a republic rooted in freedom, self-government, and the idea that power belongs to the people. And now, 2.5 centuries later, we're being called to show that same kind of courage. Because here in Massachusetts, we've got a fight on our hands. It's a fight against a government that taxes people to the breaking point and punishes success. A government that thinks it knows better than the people who actually live here and pay the bills. And it's a fight to remind Beacon Hill who they all work for. They work for us. And when I look around this room, I see people who still believe in this Commonwealth and still believe in this country. I see people who refuse to sit on the sidelines and watch Massachusetts fail. We are here because we want our Commonwealth back. We're here to restore a government that answers to the people. We want common sense back. Let us put our citizens first and not be a sanctuary state. And we are ready to fight for it. So,
This is shit that the Minogue family is coming out here now while we've got a candidate on stage.
Thank
Hugging
you for
people,
having the
kissing
guts
people.
to
This is
stand up when it's
ridiculous.
easier these days to
Nobody
stay
else did
quiet.
that.
Now, let me tell you who I am and why I'm in this race. I'm a Massachusetts guy through and through. I was born and raised in Medford and Reading. My mom raised the kids. My dad worked in a union factory job while going to school at night. After 9 years of night school, my dad got his degree. He went to work for Roach Brothers Supermarkets. And eventually, after all that hard work and sacrifice, he became their CEO. Massachusetts gave him that opportunity. Sadly, those opportunities don't exist under Maura Healey. I've been blessed in so many ways. I got a great education. I grew a successful business. I supported my family and guaranteed their safety. But the biggest things in my life weren't business deals, they were personal. I married the love of my life, Tricia. We raised 3 amazing kids. And by the way, we're a very religious family. We're so religious, we have 2 religions. I'm Catholic and Trisha's Jewish. Trisha's also Puerto Rican, so we're just your typical Irish Catholic Puerto Rican Jewish family.
Huh. I didn't know
I
that.
had the privilege of coaching 39 of my kids' sports teams. And by the way, if a boy ever took the field in one of my daughter's games, I would have stood up and said, "No boys and girls sports." But at a certain point, I started thinking about everything the state and this country had given me. I felt blessed, and I knew I wanted to give something back. So in my mid-40s, with the support of Tricia and my family, I walked away from my business career and committed myself to public service. The first stop was Lawrence Public Schools, the worst performing school district in Massachusetts. Lawrence, a majority minority city, was a stark example of the government failing the people, in this case, failing the kids. We brought everyone to the table. We slashed the bureaucracy by 40%, put the dollars in the classroom. And in 2 short years, the high school graduation rate went from 52% to 72%. I continued that service as Secretary of Housing and Economic Development. We built a killer team. We rebuilt the operation head to toe. And we helped create 230,000 private sector jobs that have lasted despite Maura Healey's best efforts.
Correct. See what I mean?
And after the worst governor in America was elected, I signed
Mike
on
has
as
more
finance chair for the
substance than Brian.
It wasn't hard to see where the state was headed. As a lifelong Republican, I knew that a strong Republican Party and a future conservative Republican governor were the only ways out of this mess.
I'm following
At
him.
the same time, I took a leadership role at Boys and Girls Clubs of Boston. Believe it or not,
Mike Minogue's
the
wife is
communities
walking
hardest
around here.
hit by
She's got on a
local
red dress.
policies
She's
are
got
the
a
very ones they
white
claim
jean
to help.
jacket with rhinestones on the back that say Mrs. Minogue.
I worked with this amazing organization to create opportunities for kids in Roxbury, Dorchester, and Mattapan. Opportunities to gain the skills they need to be successful in life and to escape the cycle of poverty that is politically convenient for Maura Healey and Beacon Hill Democrats.
Politically convenient
And
is a
today,
good term.
I stand before this body as a candidate for governor, so I can continue that mission to make Massachusetts a better place for everyone. To end the insanity, to put our people first, and to deliver common sense, conservative leadership. America's worst governor can be summed up in 2 words: absence and arrogance. She simply doesn't care. She takes the job for granted. She takes you for granted. And she's always looking beyond Massachusetts. Hey, Maura, newsflash, Kamala lost, and you still have a job to do. Zero leadership, just the most cynical brand of politics imaginable. The Healey strategy is to blame our president, and the Healey agenda is to appease woke special interests. Families are fleeing our state for greener pastures because they simply can't afford to live here. While they move out, illegal immigrants move in, and those whose version of greener pastures is government handouts that we all pay for. The state budget has doubled in a decade. Healy has proposed taxes on prescription drugs, your cable box, candy, and all those green gimmicks on your utility bill are more Healy's taxes too. Electricity costs are killing families because of Healy's giveaways to so-called green energy projects. She has no energy policy, she only has a climate agenda. She's not only the worst governor in America, she's the least transparent, refusing to comply with public records laws, and we still don't have our audit. Trampling local control, weaponizing the MBTA Communities Act. Her parole board continues to release convicted murderers into our communities. Criminal illegal immigrants have flooded the Commonwealth because Maura Healey invited them here. Unspeakable atrocities, undermining law enforcement, and charging taxpayers millions to pay for it. And her response, which is called on it, things will happen. Well, when I'm governor, I'll tell you what, these things will not happen. It is time to return government to the people. Let's make the state affordable so families stop fleeing and our kids can build a future here. Let's cut taxes and reduce energy costs. I'll cancel offshore wind, build the natural gas
Cancel
pipelines
offshore wind.
and partner with the Trump administration for more nuclear energy. Let's take the billions of dollars Maura Healey spent on illegal immigrants and give it back to the taxpayers in our communities. I will end the enforcement of MBTA communities and return control of our cities and towns to local government where it belongs. Let's make our communities safe again. Let's keep criminals in jail. If you murder or rape a child in Massachusetts, you will no longer get a taxpayer-funded Uber to another taxpayer-funded shelter. You will spend the rest of your life behind bars. Let's declare loudly and clearly sanctuary cities will not be tolerated, and we are not a sanctuary state. Let's support law enforcement and partner with ICE so we can remove criminal illegal immigrants and get them out of our shelters, off our streets, and out of our state for good. How about we secure our elections and finally pass voter ID? Let's promote school choice, support career and technical education, empower parents, and get woke politics out of our classrooms. And let's work together to pass two critical ballot questions. First, let's protect our Second Amendment and repeal Chapter 135. And second, let's give taxpayers a break from 4 years of Maura Healey and cut the income tax. Let's lead a conservative government, one that is accountable to its people and an open book. Let's get the damn audit done and eliminate the waste, fraud, and abuse. And for the record, when I'm governor, my office will be subject to the open records law because transparency shouldn't be a bad word in government, it should be a foundation. Massachusetts did not become a great state because of government. It became a great state because of the grit and ingenuity of its people. The government's job is to get the hell out of the way and let free enterprise thrive. We absolutely must win this election, and I know that I can. Our children's futures, the promise of Massachusetts, the American dream, are all on the line in 2026. We hear every election called the most important one of our lifetime. But this one is the most important election of our kids' lifetime. Folks, if we don't defeat Maura Healey, then many of our children will soon no longer call Massachusetts home, and I won't stand for that. If we keep going down this road, more families will leave, more businesses will walk away, and more young people will decide their future is better somewhere else. That's not a reality I'm willing to accept, and I know you're not either. And so, I'm asking you to join me. But look, I think we can all agree for 3 decades, there has been a disconnect between the conservative grassroots of the Republican Party and the Republican governors that have served on Beacon Hill. That is not the kind of governor I will be. I'm the only candidate for governor that is a lifelong Republican. I've met almost all of you at one of the nearly 100 public events I've attended. I've stood shoulder to shoulder with you for the past 3 years in this fight against Laura Healy. And so I pledge to you today that I will never forget the party I belong to or the people in this room that helped me win.
Kind of got me tearing up a little bit.
You will not be a footnote when I'm governor. You will be the heart, soul, and lifeblood of the Connealy
It's a good message for this convention.
So friends, we have a lot of work to do. Let's bring back accountability. Let's stand up for working people. Let's show Beacon Hill the power of common sense. Maura Healey likes to say, we know better. Well, I say we, the people, should decide the fate of this Commonwealth. And with me as governor, the will of the people will finally prevail. Thank you. God bless Massachusetts, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
You know, it's a very difficult thing to do. It's a very difficult thing to do, to discipline yourself, to not fall in line with what's flashy, fancy, expensive, or even gimmicky. And that is, there's the team. That is, if you later on, oh, now you want to keep things moving? Now we gotta, I gotta go vote. I've got to go vote. Oh, we've learned our lessons. I'm going to end this screen because I've got to go vote. Do you want me to come back after I'm done voting? I'll come back. Go Team Connealy. I'll be back. I'm going to go vote. Bye.
They're working hard